was really cool when I heard about that Cricket and Danny are engaged now on Young and the Restless. I've been a fan for the show for many years, since I was a kid back in the 80s, and my babysitter made me watch the show every afternoon. So at an early age, I kept up with the soaps, this show, As the World Turns, and The Guiding Light. And I grew up being a fan of Michael Damian and his music. He had a lot of pop songs, rock songs that were popular back in the late 80s and 90s. One of my favorites is Rock On. And I like the actress Laura Lee Bell as well. So I've kept up with her storyline for many years. And so they've been married years ago, and then they split up on the show. But in real life, they're married to other people. And Michael Damian is married to... Michael Damian's wife is named Janine. And Janine's father is the actor James Best. And James Best lived in Hickory, the town where I was from in North Carolina. I'd recently moved, but I grew up in the town, Hickory. And so for many years, I saw James Best around town at restaurants. And I never went up to him and talked to him. I was behind him in a line at a cafeteria one time, and I knew it was him because I heard his voice. But I didn't know whether he wanted to be, talk to him or... So I didn't talk to him at the time. I thought he was busy, so I didn't say anything. Then later I saw him at other places around town and at the seafood place, and that's where I saw him with Michael Damian. Michael Damian was facing the other direction from my booth at the restaurant, and he was facing away from me. I could see him sitting, James Best, with Michael Damian and his wife, Janine, and they were facing away from me, and I could see James Best. So I didn't go over to them at their table, but I was sitting there a few rows behind them, watching them eat fried fish and hush puppy seafood. So it's a popular place where I'm from. It's across the river near Lake Hickory in a town called Bethlehem, right next to Hickory. So, and I believe he lived close by, James Best. So anyway, it was sort of a shock because it's this little tiny seafood place that everybody in Hickory knows about. It's really good. And to see James Best and Michael Damian sitting there was kind of cool, But I didn't get to go around and see, I just saw the side profile of Michael Damian and his wife. But I let them, eat their dinner. I didn't interrupt. But I thought it was so cool to see them, of course. Okay, here's the seafood place I went to, PJ's Seafood in Bethlehem, North Carolina. So you can see how sort of mundane it really is. So here's a picture of James Best back in the 50s. He was really cute back then, of course, very handsome when he was doing the westerns with Jimmy Stewart. I believe the western was called Winchester 73. He was in The Cimarron Kid and a bunch of other westerns, and then he was in The Fugitive, the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He was in Bonanza, The Andy Griffith Show, Perry Mason, and other TV shows popular back in the day. Of course, here's the Roscoe P. Coltrane and his dog. I remember well growing up watching the show there with him. Always had a crush on Bo, of course, from the show. And here is Rock Hudson and James Best on the set of the movie Seminole. And I got to see James Best in a play right before he passed away. He was in a play locally in Hickory. He was in the play on Golden Pond at the Hickory Community Theater, playing with an actress who had been in Hollywood as well, which my mother knew or worked with at one time. So I could talk about that on another video as well. But I thought it was really good. I thought his portrayal really played the Norman Thayer part really well. Really enjoyed his performance, and that was his last performance, sadly. And he had been in a lot of places as well, and from what I hear, in New York, and so that would have been cool to see back in the day too. But anyway, I thought it was cool that I got to see James Best and Michael Damian in person, and see James Best's last performance. So rest in peace, James Best, and we appreciate your work as well as Michael Damian on The Young and the Restless. So it'll be interesting to see more of Michael Damian on the show and see how the storyline progresses with Cricket. So I hope they stay together this time.